The warning line. Commander Ilara Voss stood motionless on the bridge of the Stellar Guardian, her silver uniform reflecting the soft blue glow of Earth on the main viewport. The planet hung there like a precious jewel, unknowing of the drama unfolding in its orbit. Her crystalline eyes narrowed as the sensors detected another breach attempt at the outer marker buoys. "Contact approaching Sector 7, Commander," announced Lieutenant Rook, his scaled fingers dancing across the holographic controls. "Quantum signature matches Nexilian science vessels." Voss exhaled slowly, her breath creating a slight fog on the transparent barrier between her and the void. The Nexilians were becoming increasingly bold in their attempts to study humanity. This marked their third incursion this month. "Open a channel," she ordered, her voice carrying the weight of centuries of protocol. "And activate the quantum shield grid. Let's remind them why we're here." The communications array hummed to life, and the impressed image of a Nexilian researcher appeared before her. Dr. Zyrol's translucent skin pulsed with patterns of light, a sign of agitation among his species. "This is Commander Ilara Voss of the Galactic Protection Force. You have entered restricted space. The Earth Preservation Zone is off-limits to all external observation under the ancient decree. Withdraw immediately." Dr. Zyrol's bioluminescent patterns intensified. "Commander, we are conducting vital anthropological research. The human social development during their digital age is unprecedented. We merely wish to." "The decree is absolute," Voss cut him off. "No observation. No interaction. No exceptions." "But surely you understand the scientific value." "What I understand," Voss interrupted again, her tone sharp as a laser, "is that humanity must develop without external influence. Their path is their own." Behind her, the bridge crew worked with practiced efficiency, monitoring the quantum shield grid that kept Earth hidden from most advanced scanning technology. First Officer Jensen approached with a data tablet, his cybernetic eye glowing faintly. "Commander, we're detecting unusual energy readings from their vessel. They may have activated advanced scanning equipment." Voss's expression hardened. This was no longer a simple violation of restricted space. Active scanning of Earth was an act that demanded response. She signaled to her weapons officer, and instantly, the Stellar Guardian's defense systems came online. "Dr. Zyrol, power down your scanning arrays immediately, or we will be forced to disable them." The Nexilian skin flashed patterns of defiance. "The Galactic Scientific Council will hear of this obstruction. The humans' development of artificial intelligence alone warrants." "Final warning," Voss stated flatly. "Power down or be powered down." A tense moment passed before the energy readings from the Nexilian vessel began to decrease. Dr. Zyrol's image flickered with patterns of resignation. "Withdrawing from the restricted zone," he announced stiffly. "But this protection cannot last forever. Humanity must eventually join the galactic community." As the Nexilian ship retreated, First Officer Jensen stepped closer to Voss. "They're right about one thing, Commander. Humanity's development is accelerating. The quantum shield grid barely masks their latest satellite technology." Voss nodded slowly. "That's precisely why we must be more vigilant than ever. Humanity is approaching a crucial junction in their evolution. The next few decades will determine whether they're ready for what awaits them among the stars." "And if they're not ready?" Jensen asked. "Then we continue our watch," Voss replied, her gaze fixed on the beautiful blue world below. "For as long as it takes." The bridge fell silent save for the soft hum of equipment. Humanity's guardians resumed their eternal vigil, invisible protectors of a species that had no idea they existed. But as Voss studied the planet's peaceful glow, she couldn't help but wonder how much longer they could maintain this isolation. Recent reports showed humanity pushing the boundaries of quantum mechanics, their theories drawing ever closer to discovering the truth about their cosmic neighbors. Their artificial intelligence systems were becoming more sophisticated, their space exploration more ambitious. The day of revelation was approaching faster than anyone had anticipated. "Commander," Lieutenant Rook called out suddenly. "Long-range sensors are detecting a large fleet entering the system. Signatures match the hegemony of 7 stars." Voss's expression darkened. The Nexilians were merely curious scientists. The hegemony was something else entirely, a coalition of species that believed in technological supremacy through any means necessary. If they had finally set their sights on Earth, the situation was about to become far more complicated. "Alert all GPF vessels in the sector," she ordered. "And send word to Central Command. The ancient decree may face its greatest test yet." As klaxons began to sound throughout the Stellar Guardian, Voss allowed herself one last look at the planet below. Humanity had no idea they were about to become the center of a galactic crisis. But perhaps that was about to change. "All hands to battle stations," she announced. "We hold the line. No matter what comes." Hidden Guardians. First Officer Kenzo Tanaka moved silently through the crowded halls of Centauri Station, his modified stealth suit rendering him nearly invisible to both organic and mechanical detection. The massive space station served as a hub for dozens of alien species, but today it harbored something far more sinister than routine trade and diplomacy. 3 days ago, while monitoring encrypted communications near the Earth Preservation Zone, he had intercepted fragments of a transmission that chilled him to his core. Multiple species had formed a shadow consortium, pooling their resources to breach Earth's defenses. Not for invasion or conquest, but for something potentially more devastating, the wholesale theft of human culture, art, and innovation. The station's artificial atmosphere felt heavy as Tanaka approached his destination. The quantum scrambler in his pocket pulsed softly, guaranteeing him 5 minutes of complete surveillance blackout in the target area. He would need every second. Ahead, the ornate doors of Conference Room 7 stood unguarded. According to his intelligence, representatives from at least 5 advanced civilizations were meeting inside, finalizing their plans. The Galactic Protection Force had suspected information leaks for months, but no one had imagined a conspiracy of this magnitude. Tanaka activated the scrambler and slipped inside. The room's occupants, focused on their holographic displays, remained unaware of his presence. He recognized them all, a Nexilian scientist, 2 quantum architects from the hegemony, a synthetic intelligence from the Silicon Concordat, and most surprisingly, a high-ranking member of the Galactic Council itself. The human concept of creative freedom alone would revolutionize our entertainment sectors, the counselor was saying, his translucent tentacles wavering with excitement. Their music, their stories, their endless capacity for imaginative expression, all of it ripe for harvesting. The synthetic intelligence, a shifting mass of nanocrystalline structures, pulsed with agreement. Their development of artificial intelligence follows patterns we have never conceived. Their ethical debates alone would advance our understanding by centuries. And their capacity for adaptation, added one of the quantum architects, her energy form flickering. We've documented 17 instances where human scientists independently discovered principles that took other species millennia of unified effort to uncover. Tanaka's hand tightened around his recording device. This wasn't just cultural theft they were planning, it was the wholesale strip mining of human achievement. The Nexilian scientist manipulated a holographic display, revealing a complex network of stealth satellites. The quantum shield grid has gaps, microsecond vulnerabilities we can exploit. With our combined resources, we can establish a permanent observation network. Every human transmission, every digital signal, every broadcast, all of it harvested and analyzed. And the Galactic Protection Force, the second quantum architect asked. The counselor's tentacles curled in what passed for a smile. They cannot guard against what they cannot detect. Our technology is generations beyond their defensive capabilities. Tanaka had heard enough. He began to withdraw, but a sudden shift in the station's artificial gravity caused him to stumble. The motion was slight, but in a room full of advanced beings, it was enough. The synthetic intelligence's crystalline structure pulsed red. We are not alone. Chaos erupted. The quantum architects unleashed waves of energy, their natural defense mechanism against threats. Tanaka rolled behind a column as the scrambler's effect began to fade. His stealth suit's camouflage flickered, compromised by the energy discharge. GPF, the counselor shrieked. Lock down the station. Nothing escapes. Tanaka activated his emergency beacon, knowing the Stellar Guardian would be monitoring. But the station's defense systems were already engaging, cutting off transmission signals. He was trapped. The synthetic intelligence's nanocrystals spread across the floor like liquid metal, searching for him. The quantum architects began systematically sweeping the room with energy pulses that would disrupt his suit's remaining stealth capabilities. But they had made one critical mistake: they had underestimated human ingenuity, just as they had underestimated humanity itself. Tanaka pulled a small sphere from his belt, a prototype based on reversed-engineered human technology. The GPF scientists had called it the Chaos Drive, inspired by humanity's own theoretical physics. He activated it and threw it into the center of the room. The device detonated in a burst of quantum uncertainty. Reality itself seemed to hiccup. The synthetic intelligence's crystalline form scattered in confusion, its nanostructures temporarily losing coherence. The quantum architect's energy forms wavered, their consciousness momentarily scattered across multiple probability states. In the confusion, Tanaka made his move. He sprinted for the door, his partially functioning stealth suit better than nothing. Behind him, he heard the counselor shouting orders in multiple languages, but the Chaos Drive had done its work. Their coordinated response was shattered. Emergency sirens blared throughout the station as Tanaka raced through the corridors. He needed to reach the diplomatic sector, neutral territory where even the counselor's authority couldn't reach. The evidence he carried had to reach Commander Voss. His comm unit crackled to life, the Stellar Guardian had broken through the communication blackout. Officer Tanaka, authentication required. Sierra Echo 970, he gasped as he ran. Priority 1 transmission to Commander Voss. The conspiracy is confirmed. Multiple species involved, council-level corruption. They're not just studying humanity, they're planning to steal everything that makes them unique. Understood. Extraction team en route. Hold your position. But Tanaka knew he couldn't stop. The station's security forces were closing in, and the consortium's agents would reach him before any extraction team could arrive. He had one chance, the diplomatic shuttle bays. If he could reach one of the protected vessels. A burst of energy scorched the wall beside him. The quantum architects had recovered faster than expected. Their floating energy forms filled the corridor behind him, tendrils of pure force reaching for his fleeing form. Tanaka rounded the final corner and saw salvation, the Andromedan diplomatic vessel, its hull gleaming with protective fields that not even the station's authorities could breach without causing an interstellar incident. He dove through the ship's energy barrier just as another blast of quantum energy seared the air where he had been. The Andromedan security systems activated automatically, sealing him in a protective bubble. Through the ship's translucent hull, he could see the consortium's agents gathering, frustrated by the diplomatic protection protocols they themselves had helped establish. The evidence was safe. The conspiracy would be exposed. Now humanity's guardians would have to face a difficult truth: the time of hiding was coming to an end. The galaxy's hunger for human achievement had grown too strong to contain. Soon, very soon, humanity would need to be ready to defend itself. The breaking point. Admiral Jun Wei gazed at the holographic display aboard the GPF command vessel Hyperion, watching as red warning indicators multiplied across Earth's defensive grid. The hegemony stealth ships had finally made their move, and it was more aggressive than anyone had anticipated. They weren't just probing defenses anymore, they were systematically dismantling them. Status report: he commanded, his weathered face illuminated by the emergency lights pulsing throughout the bridge. Strategic Director Nyota stepped forward, her augmented eyes processing data streams in real time. 17 breaches detected in the quantum shield grid. The hegemony is using some kind of resonance technology we've never seen before. They're not just penetrating our defenses, they're making them collapse. Casualties? 3 GPF vessels disabled. No fatalities, but the hegemony's weapons are designed to bypass our shield harmonics. They've clearly been planning this for years. Wei moved to the tactical station where Commander Voss's hologram flickered with urgency. Commander, what's the situation in your sector? Critical, Admiral. We've detected multiple insertion teams entering Earth's atmosphere. They're using some kind of quantum phasing technology, our intercept systems can't lock onto them. Voss's image crackled with interference. Sir, they're heading for major population centers. Beijing. New York. London. Mumbai. Wei's jaw tightened. Decades of protection protocols were unraveling in minutes. Their objective? Based on Officer Tanaka's intelligence, they're targeting research facilities, cultural archives, and digital storage centers. They want to extract as much human knowledge and creativity as possible before we can respond. Sir. Nyota called out. Multiple quantum distortions detecting in Earth orbit. The hegemony is deploying some kind of massive data collection array. They're preparing for a systematic download of Earth's entire digital infrastructure. Wei closed his eyes for a moment, feeling the weight of centuries of protocol pressing down on him. The GPF had one absolute directive: protect humanity while maintaining their isolation. But now those two imperatives were in direct conflict. They could no longer do both. Commander Voss, what's the status of the human defense systems? They've detected the incursions, sir. Military forces worldwide are mobilizing, but their weapons are useless against quantum-phased targets. They're fighting blind. And if we don't intervene? The hegemony will strip Earth of everything that makes it unique. Art, music, literature, scientific theories, philosophical concepts, all of it copied and stolen. They'll leave humanity's achievements as empty shells, denying them the pride and ownership of their own cultural evolution. Wei straightened his uniform, his decision made. Initialize Protocol Omega. The bridge fell silent. Protocol Omega had existed since the GPF's founding, the procedure for first contact in case of catastrophic emergency. It had never been activated. Sir, Nyota said quietly, once initiated, there's no going back. Humanity will know they're not alone. They already know they're not alone, Wei replied. They just don't know we've been protecting them. Lieutenant, identify the human leadership candidates from the contingency files. Military commanders, scientific leaders, key political figures. We need individuals who can grasp the situation quickly and act decisively. Admiral, Voss's hologram interjected, the hegemony's forces are approaching the quantum harmonics facility in Geneva. If they access those experiments, they'll discover how close humanity is to achieving quantum communication, Wei finished. Making our entire defense grid obsolete. Commander, deploy your forces. Visible intervention authorized. Lieutenant Nyota, begin transmission of First Contact Package Alpha to designated human leaders. Sir, detecting massive energy buildup in the hegemony fleet, the tactical officer reported. They're charging their primary weapons array. They're not going to let us make this transition easy, Wei murmured. All GPF vessels, battle formation Delta. Priority 1 is protecting Earth's major population centers. Nyota, how long until the first contact transmissions reach their targets? 3 minutes to first receipt. We've identified 47 primary contacts across all major nations. But sir, we're detecting unusual activity in Earth's digital networks. The hegemony isn't just downloading, they're uploading something. Wei's expression darkened. Analysis? It appears to be a competing first contact message. They're trying to turn humanity against us. Claiming we've been imprisoning them, holding back their development. Sir. Vasa's hologram flickered urgently. Hegemony forces have breached the Geneva facility. They're making themselves visible to the humans. They're forcing our hand. Wei watched as new data streamed across the tactical display. Human military forces engaging invisible enemies. Panic spreading through cities as hegemony ships dropped their cloaking fields. The careful work of centuries crumbling in minutes. Commander Voss, all GPF ships drop stealth protocols. Lieutenant Nyota, broadcast the emergency first contact message on all frequencies, all languages. Priority message to all human military commands, do not, repeat, do not engage the hostile forces directly. Stand by for tactical support. As the Hyperion stealth field dissolved, Earth became visible through the bridge viewport. Wei could see the flashes of battle beginning to light up the night side of the planet. Humanity's long isolation was ending in fire and chaos, not the careful, measured revelation they had planned for centuries. Sir, Nyota reported, first responses coming in from human leaders. They're asking for help. Wei nodded solemnly. Then let's show them they've had allies all along. All ships, combat authorization granted. Protect humanity's achievements at all costs. The time for hiding is over. Emergence. Dr. Eleanor Rivera stood in the Pentagon's underground command center, watching as impossible events unfolded on the massive display screens. Alien ships materializing in Earth's skies. Strange energy weapons lighting up the atmosphere. Two distinct alien forces engaged in what appeared to be a massive battle, one trying to reach Earth's surface, the other apparently defending it. Dr. Rivera, General Mitchell addressed her, his voice tense. You're our leading quantum physicist. Make sense of this. Before she could respond, every screen in the command center flickered and changed. A face appeared, humanoid but clearly alien, with iridescent skin and eyes that seemed to hold centuries of wisdom. I am Admiral Jun Wei of the Galactic Protection Force, the figure announced. For over 2 centuries, we have been Earth's guardians, protecting your independence and right to self-determination. That protection is now under direct threat. Eleanor's mind raced. The quantum anomalies she detected in her research, the unexplainable gaps in deep space readings, suddenly everything made sense. They've been hiding us, she whispered. All this time. The Admiral continued, his message broadcasting worldwide. The hegemony of 7 stars seeks to steal your cultural and technological achievements, your art, your science, your very identity as a species. We can no longer hide. We need to fight together. General Mitchell's secure phone rang. After a brief conversation, he turned to the room. The President has ordered cooperation with these Galactic Protection Forces. Dr. Rivera, you're now our liaison. They're sending a team to this facility. Minutes later, Eleanor found herself face to face with Commander Ilara Voss and First Officer Kenzo Tanaka as they strode into the command center, their advanced technology somehow allowing them to teleport directly inside Earth's most secure facility. Dr. Rivera, Voss greeted her. Your work on quantum harmonics is what brought this to a head. You were months away from discovering us anyway. The hegemony knows this, Tanaka added. That's why they moved now. But they don't understand what makes humanity truly special. A new alarm blared. On the screens, hegemony ships had broken through the defensive line, their massive data collection arrays powering up over major cities. They're beginning the download, Voss announced grimly. They'll strip every database, every server farm, every digital archive of human achievement. Not if we don't let them, Eleanor replied, a plan forming in her mind. You've been watching us, protecting us, but there's something you might not know about humanity. General, give me access to the Quantum Research Network. Mitchell nodded, and Eleanor's fingers flew across the nearest terminal. Our quantum experiments weren't just about communication. We theorized that consciousness itself has a quantum component. We've been working on a way to link human minds through quantum entanglement. Voss's eyes widened. That's impossible. Even our most advanced species can't. Impossible is what humans do best, Eleanor smiled. We just need your help to amplify the signal. Understanding dawned on Tanaka's face. A quantum consciousness firewall. Not technological, biological. Better, Eleanor replied. Cultural. Every human mind linked, every creative thought, every innovation, every dream and idea connected. Let them try to download that. Admiral Wei's voice came through their communicators. Whatever you're planning, do it fast. The hegemony's arrays are at 90% power. The next hour was a blur of activity. GPF engineers worked alongside human scientists, integrating their quantum technology with Earth's experimental systems. Eleanor's team uploaded the consciousness linking program to satellites worldwide, while GPF ships modified their defensive shields to act as quantum amplifiers. Ready, Eleanor announced, her hand hovering over the activation key. Around the world, billions of humans waited, connected through emergency broadcasts. Admiral, on your mark. Hegemony arrays at full power, Wei reported. They're beginning the download. Now, Dr. Rivera. Eleanor activated the system. Across the planet, human consciousness exploded into quantum space. Not as individual minds, but as a vast, interconnected web of creativity, innovation, and determination. Art, music, literature, scientific theories, all of it alive, dynamic, constantly changing and evolving. The hegemony's data arrays tried to copy it, but they might as well have tried to download the ocean. Human creativity wasn't just information to be stolen, it was a living, breathing force of nature. Their arrays are overloading, Tanaka reported with satisfaction. They can't process the quantum complexity of linked human consciousness. One by one, the massive hegemony ships began to withdraw, their data collection systems burning out as they tried to comprehend and copy the unprecedented phenomenon of united human creativity. In the aftermath, as GPF ships took up visible positions around Earth, Admiral Wei's image appeared again on screens worldwide. Humanity, he announced, you have proven once again why we chose to protect you. Your ability to innovate, to think beyond the impossible, to unite in ways no other species conceived, these are your true achievements. And now, if you're willing, we'd like to formally welcome you to the galactic community. Eleanor looked at Commander Voss, who was studying the quantum consciousness readings with amazement. You protected us for centuries, she said. Kept us safe while we developed, grew, invented, and dreamed. Thank you. No, Voss replied, a smile playing at her iridescent features. Thank you, for showing us that there are still things in this galaxy that can't be stolen or copied. They have to be lived, created, and shared freely. As celebrations erupted worldwide and humans began to process the reality of their new place in the cosmos, Eleanor couldn't help but smile. Humanity had emerged from isolation not as victims or prisoners, but as masters of their own destiny, ready to share their unique gifts with the galaxy. The age of hiding was over. The age of emergence had begun.